Hello everyone, welcome to the Code Code. Today we are going to learn about FastAPI. It's the part 1 and in the part 1 we are going to cover what is FastAPI, when to use FastAPI and where to use FastAPI. So this FastAPI is really awesome. It is easy to use, easy to implement, and mostly when it comes to the AI application, microservices, and the application where the user loads are heavy, the FastAPI is king with respect to other uh, Python REST framework like Django and REST. Okay, so let's directly jump to the slides where we can understand what we are going to learn today. Okay, so what we will learn is what is FastAPI, FastAPI versus existing API framework, that is Django and Flask. Use cases of FastAPI, UVCon is used by FastAPI as a server gateway. How to install FastAPI, run the server, automated docs. This automated docs feature is really awesome given by the Fast API. You don't need to write a single thing about it. All you have to do is to provide the data in your methods, or you can say the callable APIs, and they will directly create the complete document with all the data in it. Okay, so coming to this, what is Fast API? So let's understand some basic things about Fast API. Okay, so here is our board, and we will understand, like, first of all, where it stand, where it stand. So where it stand means like at what standard it stands in compared to Flask and Django. So if I say it is Flask, Flask have very less features. Then it comes to the Fast API. It have many features. Then it's come to the Django. It have all the features, but there is there is lots of work to complete that in the Django. In the Fast API, it's really easy, fast, and code is clean. Okay, so it's the basic thing. Let's understand it more in a example way, like how the Fast API is better than Django or Flask. Okay, so let's go to a board, and again, so let's say you have this user 1 and you have this user 2. I will make it, I will minimize it. So this is the user 1, user 2. They both are using the same app. The user 1 app is created with Fast API, and user 2 app is created with Django. Because I'm using Django because it's a feature rich, and it can do all the tasks which Fast API can do, but it is really difficult to achieve that, but it is possible. So okay, so this is the one app, this is the similar app. Apps are running on servers. It's a basic. So this is our server. Both the apps are providing 3 services. Let's say S1, S2, S3. It is the same app, it is S1, it is S2, it is S3. So both the application are similar. Users are different, but one is using the Fast API and the second is using the Django. Both the servers have the 3 services, and user one want to. So the scenario is, both the users, they have 10 files. They want to upload those 10 files, and on the top of those 10 files, they need to collect the data from the process data from the services, from the app. So let's say if this service one is the one which will collect the data from the file, and it will process it, and it will revert it back. So it have 10 files. It have 10 files, and let's assume that each file will take around 5 minutes. Each file will take around 5 minutes to process. So user one will go to the app, he will upload the file, and the app will go to the server. It will ask for the service one. The service one will take the request, and it will start the upload and process it. Same user 2 is doing. User 2 will go to the app, and app will ask for the service one. Again, it uploaded file. It will start the process. Uploaded file, start process. So when it comes to user one, the fast API, this fast API, let's say there is so we can assume that there is an agent, this fast API have, and there is this agent, this Django have. So when the user will ask the agent to take their file and go to the service one, and from the same agent, user one is expecting the revert. And for the same, user 2 will ask to the agent of Django. Agent will take the file to the service one, then the service one will process it, then the agent will carry the process data to the user 2. Same we are it is happening in the same it is happening in the fast API. Okay, let me clear something so we will have more space. Files removed and removed. Okay, so what the benefit we have in the fast API is it will make the agent free. So as I said, like all the files or each file will take around 5 minutes. So what this fast API will do is it will tell the agent, okay, you have provided the data to the S1, now you are free. You can come back to the interface, and you can ask the user for the another input. And in the same place, what Django will do is it will keep the agent busy with S1. It will bind the agent to the S1. So what user 2 will experience is user 2 will experience the wait of 5 minutes. But what user 1 will experience? User 1 will experience, oh, I just uploaded the file and the agent came back to me and asking for another work. All I have is 10 files. So why don't I just push all my files and okay. And user 2 will wait for 5 minutes. Until the process is not completed, the agent will not ask for another file. So the user 1 will upload all the files, and user 2 uploads sequentially. So if I say for the time being, not for time being, if I do the time calculation, if the both users have 10 files, and which will take around 5 minutes, so for the user one, in 5 to 6 minutes, all work will be completed, because user 1 have the functionality to upload all the files at once, and user 1 will get the data in a same parallel way. For the user 2, it will take around 50 minutes. So as we can see, there is this very big difference, this 50 and this 5 to 6 minute. So I guess you can understand now, like how this fast API behaves when it comes to the server. Okay, so this is the one thing. Okay, let's go a bit more technical, like what is the cause which is doing this. Okay, so okay, we are going for a new slide. Okay, so for the fast API uses ASGI, and when it comes to the Django or Flask, it will use WSGI. Here SGI means server gateway interface for both this SGI and this SGI. But for this A, it is asynchronous. And for this W, it is web. Okay. Okay, so this asynchronous, in the Fast API, you have the option to make the API calls synchronous and asynchronous. Means sequential and parallel. We can do both, but in WSGI, it only support sequential. So the very big application like e-commerce site where one action is going to perform at one time, this sequential thing can work. But when it comes to the application where multiple data is going through at the same time and multiple data is going to giving back by the application, this asynchronous is the need, because if we are going for a synchronous way, then it will take too much of time, and which is not good for the user interface. Okay, so this is this ASGI and this WSGI. This ASGI have support of HTTP. Again, this WSGI is also support of HTTP. Just ignore this. And again, this Fast API have support of WebSockets. It don't have. So this Fast API is, again, it's new, it's old, and it's a way of working that the new thing is better than the old. Okay, so here we understood what is Fast API, where what's the use case of Fast API. As per the use case, we can again take an example of uh, let's say Leonardo AI or any other image server which is generating the images based on AI, where you need to provide the prompt, and based on the prompt that web application is generating the images. So what happening is you are providing the prompt, on base of that prompt the web application server will generate the images. But at the time when the servers are going to generate the images, it will take few seconds, few minutes based upon your prompt. So in that meanwhile, application give the control back to the user, and it asks, okay, that one prompt which you have asked, I'm working on it, and I'm giving you the option, if you have another thing also in your mind, you can provide the second prompt and I will work on it. Meanwhile, that server is working on that first prompt. When that first prompt process is completed, the application will call the agent. Application will say to the agent, okay, the data is completed, you can give it back to the user. So in this way, this call will go asynchronously. Coming to the application of it's a use case of Fast API, and coming to the application of let's say in an e-commerce site, you are going to purchase something and you are in the process of billing, or in a process of searching, you are going to search a single type of product, you are going to pay for a single amount, you are not processing multiple amounts at multiple transactions. That all comes together and doing it a single way. So it's a sequential way, and the earlier example which I gave, that was the asynchronous way. So I guess we understood that what is Fast API and where to use it, and what works behind it. So we can directly jump to our code, and we are going to set up our first API, the first Fast API. Okay, so I will clear my terminal. Okay, what I have, this env, I will clear it. Okay, let me first deactivate it. Okay, so it is deactivated. rm-rf star. Okay, so I have one clear working directory. I'm working on Windows, and I'm using this Python 3.12. whatever the things I'm going to show you, it will work same in 3.10, 3.8, 3.6, whatever the Python version which you are going to use. Actually, it's just a video of basic setup. So 3.5 to 3.12, everything will support. Nothing's going to change. So it's a good practice to create a virtual environment first. So what I'm going to do is I will create one virtual environment and in that environment I'm going to do all the things related to my fast API. Okay, so let's just wait for a minute. Okay, it's completed, so we will activate it. env source scripts activate. So as it's a Windows machine, then I have to using this env script activate. If you are working on this Linux, you can do env bin and active start. That will come into the tabs. Okay, so here we have this, and we are going to run this through the pip install. So it's a command, this pip install fast API standard. It is going to install the fast API for us. Meanwhile, let me show you the user guide section. The fast API library have provided a very beautiful section. Okay, let me drag it here. Okay, so it is the advanced user guide. Let me make the window more clear. Okay, so it is the link which you can see here, and I will provide these links into the description. And it is really very awesome user guide. They have provided all the scenario, all the functionality. They like it's brilliant. So everything is here. What I'm doing is I'm just taking the data from here and I'm pasting it there. So it's a virtual environment. You can come here down, and at the down you can see like they are using this. Where is the pip install of fast API? Okay, pip install fast API. Which Python virtual environment? Okay, just let me go to the user guide. Pip install. Okay, so here you can copy the pip install fast API. So I guess meanwhile it just completed the installation. Okay, we have the installation. What we are going to do is we are going to create a one main file, main.py. In this main.py, let's first test. Okay, I created the folder, sorry, I need to delete it. Let's create a Python file, main.py. Okay, it's not inside the dev. Create a Python file, main.py. Okay, so I have this main.py. Let's test this first. Let's test it first. Okay, so here it goes. Let's print the hello, and in our bash we can understand. Let's clear it. Python main.py. Oh, I created inside the env. Okay, so let's see again, Python main.py. So see, that is why we need to do these things basic all the time. Okay, so we have one running Python file. Okay, it's working fine. And what I'm going to do is I will come here. It's a virtual environment. It is already set it up, and we can go to the user guide. Let's copy our first code, this hello world. So what it did was, what the fast API which we have installed through our pip, it called the fast API, it created a app from this fast API class, and it just used the simple path to route into the web browser. Okay, so we have this return type, this message hello world. We are going to run the same, this Python and this main.py. Okay, sorry, I just forgot to provide the dev. What just happened? No such file. Oh, sorry. What I need to do is, you need to run this with the fast API CLI. Okay, so here we have these two links, server started at and documentation at. So let's just check the first, this server starts at. So hooray, we have our first API at the path. Okay, if you want to do few changes, let's say test, you have provided the test in here. So now what you have to do is, you have to come here. If you reload it, it will not work. Now if you do it with test, it will work. So see how easy it is. And yeah, that's it. We are we just created our first API through the fast API, and here is how you are going to set it up. So thanks for watching, and wait for the part 2. And in the part 2 we are going to understand more deeper about the fast API. Thank you. If you have any comments or any improvement if you want me to make into the video, just please let me know in the comments. I will definitely improve it, and please subscribe and share. Thank you.